Hello and welcome to Conspirator Brock's pull list. This is my pull list for the week of December 3rd, 2014. So let's get right into it. So first up on my pull list is Aquaman and the Others, number 8. Really enjoying it. Still good, still solid. Yeah, Aquaman and the Others. Next up is Batman Eternal, number 35. Still not caught up with the weekly titles yet. Hopefully this month, when I go on break from my day job, I'll be able to get caught up with these weekly titles. Don't know exactly how many I'm behind, but I'm a little bit behind, so hopefully I'll get to it. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 37 is out. 36 had ended with to the Terminal story arc, which was good. So I'm curious to see where Detective goes from here. If it keeps having like small little couple issue stories, I think that's a good flow for the book. But yeah, Detective Comics number 37. Next up is Earth 2 number 29. I actually haven't read Earth 2 yet. I think 28. I'm not sure if it's tying in with World's End, so I got to get check on that. But still enjoy Earth 2. Still a great book, so I can't wait to dive back in. Speaking of World's End, we have World's End number 9, weekly title. Not caught up. Hopefully, I'll get caught up soon. So, next up is Eternal Warrior: Days of Steel number 2. I read issue 1, enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what issue 2 has. Valiant has kind of gone away from doing long-running series. There's only a few of them that are still going. They seem to be breaking certain characters up into smaller story arcs and labeling them, which is okay. Yeah, Eternal Warrior number 2. Next up is Ferris number 32. Enjoy Ferris. It's a good side book for Fables, which is ending soon. So I don't know what's going to happen with Ferris, but I'm still enjoying it. So yeah. Next up we have Hinterkind in number 13. Much like Fables, kind of ish book. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, but Hinterkind 13. Next up we have Jason Aaron's Men of Wrath number 3. Actually just finished reading number 2 today, and I'm still a great book, still enjoying it. So curious to see what happens with this issue. So next up we have Peter Milligan's The Names number 4 of 9. Yeah, it's interesting. We don't actually carry copies for the shelf anymore. It's subscriber only. But yeah, definitely something that I'm most likely going to recommend to people as kind of a one-shot Vertigo deal, if they're looking for something kind of different, not necessarily superhero-y, but The Names. Next up, we have the New 52 Futures End number 31, weekly title, not caught up. Okay, move on. Next up, we have Quantum and Woody Valiant sized. It looks like a one-shot. I'm still checking out Quantum and Woody's newer stuff. The older one I'm not too keen on. It's just too confusing because I haven't read the prior stuff, and that one's written for the older Valiant stuff. So, but we'll see where this one takes it. Delinquents, though, which they crossed over with Archer and Armstrong, is horrible. So I'm hopefully this book kind of salvages Quantum and Woody, but right now they're not doing too well. So next we have Raw number 5. I mean, enjoying Raw. It's cool. Standard book. I guess it's good. So next up we have one that I'm actually really excited to check out. Gail Simone's new one from DC, Secret 6 number 1. I've actually only read I think the first trade of the Secret 6 before the New 52. I have them all bound. Hopefully, I will get to them around to them at some point. But I'm really excited to see what Gail Simone has in store for us with Secret 6. Since she's no longer on Batgirl, boo. I get to check out Secret 6. So the next up we have Sinestro number 7. This is the Godhead Act 2 Part 5. Green Lantern also comes out this week, 37. I'm not sure which act that is. I'll get to it in a minute. So Whichever one I need to read first, I'll read first. But I've been enjoying Sinestro, so I'll keep picking this up and checking it out. And then last up on my pull list is Swamp Thing number 37. Still, this book is amazing. If you have not read it, read it. I think I'm one issue behind right now currently, but really, really good stuff. The annual that came out last month or a little while ago was really good. So I'm really looking forward to catching up with these last 2 issues of Swamp Thing. I'm sad to see Charles Soule go because he's been doing such an amazing job with this book, and I don't know where it's going to go after that. But yeah, Swamp Thing, really, really good. So that's my pull list. These are the titles that I purchased that I am keeping for my collection, or at least keeping until I decide I no longer want to keep them. Which at that point I sell them on eBay. But next up, let's get to the read list. So we have Action Comics number 37. Checking it out, seeing Pax doing an okay job. It's not great. It's more of like a Steele and Lana Lang book than a Superman book. The Superman titles have really suffered with the New 52, but this one's okay enough that I'm gonna keep reading it for now. Next up, we have new number 1 from Marvel, Angela, Asgard's Assassin, number 1. Yeah, we'll see. I didn't read the Thor whatever Original Sin miniseries that had her in it. Whatever, I don't care. But I'll check this out, see if it's any good. Art looks okay in it, so yeah, that's at least got that going for it. Next up, we have Birthright number 3. If you have not read Birthright, you should. This book is awesome. The art is amazing. The story is really great. Really strong title from Image. I highly, highly recommend this book. You might have to track down second prints of the first 2 issues, but hopefully there'll be a trade out in the near future, or middle of next year or beginning of next year, so you can actually just check it out in one giant chunk. But Birthright is really, really good. Next up, we have Gotham Academy number 3. It's an okay book. I mean, the second issue wasn't as good as the first. It kept my curiosity enough to get issue 3, but this book is, it is what it is. It's a trendy little book that's aimed specifically for certain people. So we'll see if I keep reading it. But Gotham Academy number 3. Next up, we have Grayson number 5. Grayson's been good. I've been enjoying it for the most part. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't feel like it's had its own real story. It's just kind of been a little choppy. It's like one thing happens in one issue, one thing happens in another, and he ties in with Batman at sometimes in other titles, and so it's not clear. I really wish there was like a bigger, kind of more in-depth story. There is definitely a story arc going on, but they haven't developed it completely. So, but Grayson number 5. Next up, we have Green Arrow number 37. Despite Lemire off the book and a new creative team on it, it's been really solid. It's a good mix of kind of vigilante darkness with kind of the more feeling of Arrow, the TV show. It's a good mix of book. It's a really good, solid book. I mean, Green Arrow really suffered at the beginning with the New 52, and then Lemire really knocked it out of the park with his run. But I think this is a good, solid follow-up to Lemire's run that kind of gives a good general feeling for the character and all that. And I mean, if you're a fan of the TV show, then I would definitely suggest at least reading Lemire's and checking this out. So Green Arrow number 37. So next up we have Green Lantern number 37. It appears I need to read Sinestro first because this is God Act 3 Part 1. Godhead's been okay. It's really dragged on. The crossover with all the Lantern books. When Johns was writing and Green Lantern, and Tomasi was writing Green Lantern Corps, and there was crossover going. There was a few titles that I was going through, but it didn't seem so heavy. This just seems like you have Green Lantern, you have Green Lantern Corps, you have New Guardians, you have Red Lanterns, you have Sinestro. There's 5 books that you're going through just for kind of this one story. So it can seem a little daunting, but I mean it's okay. We'll see where it goes from here. Hal Jordan is supposed to contact Black Hand about helping him out with dealing with the New God. So, next up is Guardians 3000 number 3. The first issue was good. Second issue was good. So hopefully the third issue keeps that good rating going. But we'll see. So yeah, Guardians 3000. Actually, much better than the Guardians of the Galaxy regular book. Next up, we have Inhuman number 9. Charles Soule again over on Marvel this time. I've been enjoying it for the most part. You know, I think this book coming out of Infinity, you know, one of the things that's going on in the Marvel Universe right now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the Marvel Universe, and it can get really confusing. But this book seems to stand well enough alone. But, you know, it is, again, Inhumans, but other stuff, but this book I've been enjoying. So, if you take it out of context with the rest of the Marvel U, it's not so bad. But the problem with that issue is it's got Access on the label. So now I have to, it's going to attach to Access, which is garbage. Next up, we have Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, number 7. We actually haven't had an issue in 2 months. Or almost 3 months, I think, from Iron Fist. The last one was like September. So I'm curious to see where this goes. It's not the best. I don't know if I'll keep reading it after this. But yeah, Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, number 7. Next up, we have the legendary Star-Lord, number 6. If I remember correctly, this is supposed to be the date issue with Kitty Pryde. I don't know. Whatever's going on with the Guardians of the Galaxy, it doesn't feel right, especially with, you know, kind of the team that's assembled now with Bendis' team and stuff, and you know, him having this relationship with Kitty Pryde long distance, and it's really awkward, especially since they kind of just met during a crossover with X-Books, and then have been like talking via holo communication. It's really weird. So, Star-Lord, number 6. We'll see. Next up, we have Tooth and Claw, number 2, Kurt Busiek's title. Number 1 was okay, so I decided to give number 2 a try. But Tooth and Claw, number 2. And then last on my read list is a new Vertigo title from Bunn, Wolf Moon, number 1. Just saw it, figured I'd check it out, see what it's all about. So, I have no idea what it's about, so I'm going to be, who knows. So, those are the titles that we actually had copies of, that I was able to bring home to check out and read and get the down low on. A couple books that I was not able to pick up, but hopefully we'll be able to read at the end of the week or beginning of next week. Aliens vs. Predator Fire and Stone 3 of 4 is out. Again, I think with all those, I'm just going to get the trades, but I'm still saying, hey, those single issues are out. Next up is Lobo number 3. So Lobo 1 was okay, 2 was okay, 3, we'll see if I really keep up with it. But yeah, those were the only 2 other books that I wasn't able to get a chance. A couple of trades that came out that I wanted to mention, because I think it's good to mention that, hey, there's a graphic novel out. There's something that you might want to check out. The New 52 Futures End, Volume 1 came out. It's only 18 issues, so it's not as many issues as Batman Eternal Volume 1. It's the same price, $39.99. It's a fair amount for the amount of books you're getting. But again, I'm not. You see one, it's a little bit bigger, so maybe it's just the way they wanted to break the story up. I don't know. But if you haven't checked out Futures End, the first trade paperback is out today. And the other one, Marvel had their Captain America Trial of Captain America Omnibus come out. Whomping big ginormous thing. It's Brubaker. It's awesome. $100 for that bad boy. So yeah, that's definitely something. So yeah, so that's it for the pull list this week. There was some news today, real quick that I want to touch on. Suicide Squad actors attached to the movie were announced today. Leto as Joker, Will Smith as Deadshot, which I will talk more about. We'll probably talk more about that on the Comic Conspiracy on Monday. A couple of the actors I'm not too sure of, remember their names or stuff, but I mean, I'm excited, but again, it's also a little wary of some of their choices for actors. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with Leto playing Joker. I'm not necessarily fine with Will Smith playing Deadshot, but we'll probably get into that later. So please like this video, share it, let people know, hey, check this guy out in a Batman hat every week to see what he's reading, see what kind of books are coming out. I know I don't do everything here, but there's just way too much that comes out to really do that without just kind of saying this is out, this is out, this is out, this is out. I mean, you can flip through a previews list. There's a ton of websites that have that every week. Yeah, that's about it. It's Christmas time, so better get your Christmas shopping done. And if you are doing Christmas shopping and you decide to click through the Amazon links and buy it through Amazon, thank you. I will get a little kickback from that, advertising stuff. Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter. Handle is Brock Sager. You can find this and other videos that I've posted on my YouTube channel. It was Ashes2 1979 is the channel. And you can go to my blog, conspiratorbrock.com, see the pull list, see links for the Comic Conspiracy podcast. I'm hopefully going to get to doing a shopping for that comic book nerd in your life video, hopefully this week, to kind of, you can share it with your friends who don't understand you about shopping for the comic book person in your life, because I don't know what the difficult part is. It's really simple normally. Yeah, so I got a lot of reading ahead of me. I got a ginormous stack of books over here in a short box that I need to get to. I have trades to read, I got a book to read, I got a ton of stuff to read. Not to mention I gotta get caught up on all the TV shows since the finales are happening. Mid-season finales are happening, and we're going to talk about a few of those on the podcast this coming week. So again, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel, share, all that stuff, and I will see you next week.